Hey guys, it's Amelia. I got a letter from Helen, and she's a southern brunette or southern South brunette. Basically, she's concerned. Basically, nobody on YouTube has talked about how bad it is in the hospital. But I think I should preface my experience with the fact that I have never, before this, spent the night in a hospital. I've never had an IV. I've never had surgery. I've never had anything really painful done. I complained bitterly when I had a wart burned off by my dermatologist, if that explains it for you. Just to let you know what a terribly high maintenance, pitiful creature I am. I don't have a high tolerance for pain. So, that being said, this experience is going to be colored by my perfect little life that I had before this experience. So, you know, if you've ever had a baby or you've ever had any kind of surgery, you're worlds ahead of me in this. So, anyway, basically, I checked in on Thursday morning and they had me go back and go into pre-op. I had to put on a gown, and then someone, you know, hung out with my mom. They came and asked me a whole bunch of questions. They hooked up an IV. Which wasn't as bad as I thought. I was actually totally afraid of the IV. And then I was like, oh, that was okay, whatever. So, after a good while of hanging out with my mom and talking and having people come and touch me and talk to me, and they gave me a little shot in my stomach for blood clots, which wasn't nothing, you know, and, basically they were like, okay, well, it's time. So they came and they gave me the I don't care medicine in my IV, which like 3 seconds later it felt like I'd had 6 margaritas. I was just like, woo, you know. And then they took me and rolled me into the OR. And they were just, you know, everybody's talking to me, and they're just kind of fixing on me, and they scoot me over to another table, and they're laying my arm out, you know, and just kind of strapping me in. And I don't remember much of that experience other than they're like, okay, Amelia, you want to go to sleep? And I was like, yeah. And then bam, I was gone. There was no counting. It wasn't like the movies. It was just like, bye. And when I woke up, I wasn't truly awake. I was just in this room full of miserable souls, all groaning and looking odd. And I could look from side to side, but I could only like look out of my eye like a crack, you know, like look at what was happening, and I closed my eyes and be like, that sucks. And then I kind of open my other eye and I look around and be like, oh, this is some stuff, you know, people are just laying half, you know, just all discombobulated. But it wasn't really that big a deal. I mean, like, honestly, you probably don't remember that hardly. And then apparently I was there for a very long time because my blood pressure would not come down and my pulse would not come down. And so I was there a lot longer than most people. My mother was freaked out in another room because she was like, oh God, you know, because it was supposed to be just 2 hours in recovery and bam, in your room. And I didn't do that. They had to watch me for a little while. So that must have been really hard. And but eventually they go rolling me around, and I'm just like, whoa. They roll me around. They put me in my room, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, here I am. I'm sitting here. And you wake up and you're like, wow, someone ran over my midsection with a Mack truck. Really? And you realize that when you go to turn left or right, you're now faux jiggity. You're just all messed up. You can't hardly move without everything just being guh. And they hooked me up with a morphine pump. But I don't know, I've always heard so many things about people and drugs, so I was very wary about using. I didn't use nearly as much of the morphine as I was allowed to. But basically, I mean, every time I would use it, I'd go and fall back to sleep. And then they get you right up in the beginning, and first someone has to kind of help you get up, and you're sitting there thinking, there's no way I'm going to get up. Because everything is just, you just don't know, you just feel like your midsection is just a tree trunk, and it's not going to bend, and bending a little hurts, and everything hurts. And I mean, they say maybe it doesn't hurt, it's not pain, it's soreness, but okay, to me that's that's pain. I mean, I don't roll around being sore all the time. So they make you use this inspirometer, which hurts like hell in the beginning. You can't even do like a third of what you could do before the surgery, because they teach you how to use it before the surgery. And basically just hours and hours go by like agony, and you're just drifting in and out of consciousness. But it's not like in a good way. I mean, you're still almost always aware of how uncomfortable you are. And I found it miserable. I mean, I just really did. I don't want to, like, a lot of people don't go by my experience, honestly, because a lot of people said, oh, I was just fine a couple days later and I was just up skipping around. But for me, I was miserable, and I had the best help in the world. My mother was there, and like if I needed something, she was just like right on it, like getting the nurse to go do it and getting something if I needed it. I mean, she didn't, like, no matter how ridiculous her request was, she was just like, sure, here you go, you know. And all I can say is that if you're going to go through this experience, you need somebody like my mom. You don't need somebody who, you know, says, I'll support you no matter what, and then they just, you know, they show up and they're a jerk about it. You want somebody who loves you a lot, seriously. And because it's going to be hard. It's going to be really, really hard. And every day, I mean, like, I say every day, but every day feels like this epic, you know, Scarlett O'Hara, Gone with the Wind experience. Like, every day feels like 6, you know what I mean? It's like today's like day number 5, and it feels like I've been in this for 10 days. So, like, you'd have to get up and you'd have to walk, and then you'd be proud you walked, yay. And then, you know, like, they didn't let me drink for over 24 hours, which was just, I mean, my mouth just turned into the most disgusting, dry swamp creature you've ever seen, and I just knew I wasn't allowed. And then they made me go drink this barium stuff, and they made me keep drinking it after I'd just gotten out of the wheelchair. And I'm not, you know, I wasn't really good at standing at that point, and they made me step up on a platform that was like this high and stand with my back against this thing, so while I looked at my insides while I drank this stuff. And this stuff was the foulest crap on the earth. To go an entire day, the sad part was the first half of it. It actually tasted okay to me because I just wanted something to drink. But after a while, the barium really starts to, like, build on you, and you're just, like, horrified by it. But then when I went back to my room, I was allowed, they said I could, you know, everything was good, I didn't leak, and so they let me have popsicles. And so I lived on popsicles, ice, and Crystal Light. They brought me broth, but broth sounded horrible to me. I mean, like, just the thought of it made me want to gag. So basically for days, you know, like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, they just, you know, kept poking me with a stick to get up, to get walk. And I thought maybe I'd have to be there one more day, but I woke up at one point on Saturday and just got up by myself and was okay to do that. And then I took a shower, and I felt a lot better, so they discharged me. And I spent Saturday and Sunday, I'm at my mom's house right now, and I did that, and those were kind of hard, but I woke up this morning and felt really different, like I was a lot better. But today's still been really hard, even feeling much better. So that's all the honesty I can muster. Just, you know, keep in mind, I'm a wuss. But for me, that's what I went through. So if you've never been through anything hard, you know, buckle up. It's still worth it. I mean, it's been 5 days and I've lost 9 pounds, and I feel a lot better, and I feel I've not been hungry in 5 days, and I just, you know, it's getting better every day. So don't be afraid of it. Whatever you do, I do not regret the surgery at all, and I would do it again if I had to. Maybe not next week, but a month from now, shall we do it again? Anyway, hope that answers your question, Helen, and I hope that answers other people's questions. All right, bye.